Do not adjust your eyes, this is not the OnePlus 6T, it is in fact the OnePlus 7, and it really is the most incremental OnePlus phone to date. But even so, we still think it should come to the US. This is our review of the OnePlus 7. Firstly, let's talk about a very similar design to the OnePlus 6T. Having a similar design is great in some ways. Firstly, all of your accessories will fit perfectly. Secondly, it was a good design to begin with. The thing is, if you look closely though, there are some little tweaks that do make the OnePlus 7 a better device in key ways. The earpiece is now much bigger and is home to a Dolby powered speaker that works in tandem with the bottom firing tweeter for stereo sound, which is a genuinely nice experience. In the same area, the dewdrop notch is a tad sharper, but still includes the same selfie camera inside. On the right edge, the notification toggle is halved in size and moved down ever so slightly. Despite the smaller size, it is actually much easier to activate and use. On the opposite side, the SIM tray eject button is moved from the top to bottom, and that covers just about all of the minor tweaks to the hardware. The major changes come at the back of the OnePlus 7, as this has a brand new dual camera bump that contains the same main sensor as you find on the 7 Pro, and it is a major step up over the 6 and 6T, but more on the quality of these later on. I must say that I do prefer the matte finish of the 6T, but the smoky grey mirror finish is really growing on me, and in varied lighting conditions it is a really striking colour. All in all, the OnePlus 7 is so familiar in the hand, and I do genuinely like that. OnePlus makes fantastically put together smartphones, and the OnePlus 7 is absolutely no different. Now, the internals are where you might have thought the performance proves to be massively different. I'd love to say that you'll instantly notice the performance differences, but in all honesty, I can't see a great deal of difference. Oxygen OS is, well, still Oxygen OS. Fast and smooth is the only way to describe the experience. I could sit here waxing lyrical all day about Oxygen OS, as it is the best form of Android in my opinion. I will say that coming from the OnePlus 7 Pro, I do feel as though the feeling of speed is less speedy, if that makes sense. That is only due to the placebo effect of the 90Hz versus 60Hz refresh rate displays. I can't fault the Full HD Plus display, as it still is nice, bright and clear, and it makes anything and everything look great. I think I still prefer the flatter display too. Curved edges are nice, but overall a flat display is just much easier to use in my opinion. I will though fault the in-display fingerprint reader, which despite having a bigger sensor is still not great in practice. I often see the not recognised message when trying to scan my thumb on regular occasions. Let's quickly talk about the new and improved camera system, as this is where the OnePlus 7 really does improve the most in my opinion. The OnePlus 6 and 6T before this didn't have bad cameras per se. I'd say more mainly average, sometimes superb cameras. Outside factors affected photos much more than they probably should, but all in all, it was a solid camera for most people. The OnePlus 7 has a great camera, probably for the first time. Images are nice and detailed in good lighting, colour and contrast and dynamic range are all really good. The main sensor is the star attraction. The secondary 20 megapixel sensor is simply there for depth effects. I have to say Nightscape 2.0 is a marked improvement over the original, but it still leaves a lot to be desired. More software tweaks can improve it, and I really do hope that OnePlus get to doing that. In video, it's definitely silky smooth 4K at 60 FPS. It's here where the OnePlus really excels in the camera stakes. I have to say I'm a huge fan of the OnePlus camera app experience. Everything is well organised, it's easy to access, and it makes using the camera on a day-to-day basis such a joy in practice. Let's quickly talk battery before we wrap up, and this is one area the OnePlus 7 actually fully exceeds the 7 Pro. Like the OnePlus 6T before it, I manage a full day with little to no issues, often ending the day with 30% battery left to spare. It also helps that the Snapdragon 855 is much more efficient, and therefore you may see 10 plus hours of screen on time on a regular basis. You are still stuck with what used to be called dash charging, but it would have been nice to get warp charging with the OnePlus 7. The 3700 mAh is the same found on the 6T, and it tops up in no time, so there's no issues in that regard. I have to say that the OnePlus 7, although pretty incremental, is still an awesome phone, and it's disappointing that OnePlus really hasn't explained why the US market won't get the device. You are stuck with the 6T, which still is an amazing option, but if you simply have to get a OnePlus 7, you will have to import the device, which is a real shame as you might encounter problems, especially with warranty and support down the line. Of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comment section below if you'd cop the 7 over the 7 Pro if it were available, and if you think it's worth the upgrade. Remember to hit subscribe to be part of the channel, but until next time, this is Damien for 9to5Google. Thanks for watching, and I will speak to you later.